Hey guys, welcome back to Ivy Crypto. Hope you're all having a fantastic day. Now I just wanted to make a quick update video and a news video on Sundaeswap. It's been a little while since I've spoken about it on the channel, but we all know it is a project that I am very much looking forward to, and that is of course one of the DEXs that will be launching on the Cardano blockchain roughly in October, we've been told. Now guys, this is not financial advice and I am not a financial advisor. So let's get right into it. I've got a few key things I want to talk about with these guys, and mostly centered around the demo. Now they did a demo a couple of weeks ago now where they showed the platform and talked a little bit about what's coming. So I'll give a shout out to that and I'll show a little bit of that demo shortly, but I also want to talk about other stuff that's happened since my last video, give a bit of an update on their roadmap. So currently still in Q3 of 2021, not for too much longer, but currently going through some audits. They're planning on launching on the Cardano blockchain soon. They're doing a bug bounty program and the ISO is scheduled for this, but I actually think it'll be in Q4. But we shall see, especially since they did say in a recent YouTube interview that they were planning on launching the platform in mid-October and the ISO will be taking place when it launches. So I would say that that'll get moved to Q4, but we shall see. Now we've also had a tokenomics section added in, which I quite like. We're starting to get a little bit of transparency from these guys. Now, one of the things that compared to some of the other projects that are coming out in Cardano, and this is maybe a little bit of a criticism personally from me, but Sundaeswap's the only, well, one of the few projects that isn't on Telegram. They're not very active in that sense. Now, they're super active on Twitter, and I know they've, done some great marketing and all that sort of stuff, but I would like to, potentially have seen them on Telegram. I know they had a Telegram initially, but they don't have one anymore, and it would just be nice to sort of talk to the devs and ask some questions. Now, I know that maybe in this pre-launch phase, they do tend to get some silly questions, but it just would have been nice if they had a Telegram, but that's just, my personal opinion. So guys, I'm going to show you the demo that the channel Crypto Capital Venture did. So shout out to him. I'm going to play that demo, and in the background, I'm going to talk about some of the updates, and then we can look at some of the technical updates that they've been releasing. So here we can see what the DEX will actually look like. Now, I don't know about you guys, but this is pretty well what I was expecting from these guys, and it does look somewhat similar, not completely, but quite similar to PancakeSwap. And this is sort of what I was expecting, with the theatrics and the colorfulness and all that stuff. Now, there is also dark mode on this as well. Now, a couple of things that they mentioned throughout this interview was that they haven't yet decided which wallets they'll be integrating, but it'll probably be Yori or Yori or Yoro, whatever they call it, Nami, and most likely Giro wallet as well. So obviously I've made videos about Giro or Giro, again, how people want to pronounce it, one that I'm pretty excited about there. So looking forward to seeing what wallets there are available on Sundaeswap. Now, they also talked about partnerships, and they have partnerships with Indigo, M Labs, Cardstarter, and Liquid. Now, because of those partnerships, they're saying that they will have lots of liquidity, and liquidity is capital efficiency. And what that means is less slippage on your orders. Now, I've used PancakeSwap a lot and the Binance Smart Chain for some of the smaller coins that I've bought, and I've always had a massive problem with slippage, and obviously I imagine that's just because of the poor liquidity on some of these tokens. But I think that's very interesting that was one of the main selling points for the dev that did this interview. So I thought that was really interesting, and I'll be curious to see how that all works. But personally, I'll be investing in Sundaeswap when it does go public, and I'll be providing liquidity to the DEX. So he did also mention that there'll be 3 ways that you can get Sundaeswap. Now, most of these we already knew, but I just wanted to sort of clarify that in this video. So you can buy Sundaeswap on the DEX when it launches, at this stage slated for mid-October, but that of course is a moving target. You can provide liquidity to the DEX, and then you'll be rewarded in SUNDAE tokens, or you can participate in the ISO, which will be taking place at the same time as the DEX launching. Now here you're about to see dark mode, which I think is something really cool, and I think a lot of the DEXs are going to be implementing this. I'm personally a big fan of dark mode. But guys, I guess the three ways you can buy it, to recap: liquidity, ISO, and buying the DEX. The ISO is an initial stake pool offering, similar to what Meld Labs is currently doing, that I'm participating in, but it was a model that was, I guess, introduced publicly by Sundaeswap, and they were going to be the first ones to do it, but unfortunately didn't get to be the first. Now, I guess one of the things that is on everybody's mind is, what is the price of Sundaeswap going to be at launch? Now, of course, the devs cannot talk about this, guys. It's just not something that can be spoken of due to the SEC regulations and all that sort of stuff. Now, what I'm showing you here is that they made a call out to all developers they have just open sourced 2 pieces of their Cardano toolkit, and they will allow you to run a private Alonzo testnet and provide an easy to use interface for accelerating the Cardano development. So looks a little something like this. So I thought that was pretty cool that they've done that, and I'll be curious to see what sort of feedback they get. And I'll be, just hovering through these updates while I talk. But in terms of price, it'll be really interesting, because Sundaeswap has had really good marketing. I mean, they've passed 100,000 followers on Twitter, about to hit 120,000 actually. So it's growing in popularity. They have really good marketing. They have a platform that I think looks quite easy to use. It'll look familiar to people that are potentially going to be migrating over from the Binance Smart Chain, from Uniswap, whatever it may be. So I think they will get a fair bit of attention, and of course the popularity and the attention that it will get and the amount of investors that it will get will dictate the price. So I'm expecting this to come straight out of the ballpark, and this is, again, a complete guess. Do not hold me to this, and this is not financial advice, and this is not based on anything other than pure speculation. But I think these guys will come straight out the park with at least $2 to $3, at least. Now, personally, guys, my strategy is I will not be buying SUNDAE the second it launches. I think there'll be a massive demand for it. I think we'll see a massive spike in price, and then we'll see a really dramatic correction, which does tend to happen with a lot of these really popular projects. So initially, I will probably participate in the ISO instead and stake my ADA to get SUNDAE tokens, and then once the price movements come down and we get those corrections, I will probably buy SUNDAE tokens on the DEX and then provide liquidity to the DEX. But in the meantime, I think, just be wary of buying as soon as it launches, because I do think there is going to be a lot of people jumping on this one. I think it is definitely by far the most well-marketed project that's coming out on Cardano. And because of that, I think it's good to be cautious of the price movements. Now, if you are a long-term hodler, or if you're planning to hold long-term, then that shouldn't bother you. But I think it's important with anything in crypto to get a good entry point. And that's exactly what we're looking for here. We're looking for a good entry point. So I don't think day one is that, but that is my opinion. I would love to hear yours in the comments. Don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed the content, subscribe to the channel, and as always, watch this space.